यहाँ
ये
हाँ
नहीं, ये अभी ज्वाइन होगा।
अच्छा। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दसाम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ओम वेदोदधिं समुन्मथ्य ज्ञानरत्नं समुद्धृतं येन तस्मै वसिष्ठाय गुरुणां गुरवे नमः। वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। शब्द ब्रह्म की जय। सरस्वती महारानी की जय। योग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। हरि ओम। Today we are going to discuss Yoga Vasistha Nirvana Prakaran, the last half, and 37th chapter. We have completed already the story of monkey, ascetic, the monkey, with talk with Vasistha ji, the Guru. And Vasistha ji explained to monkey that one who wants permanent rest, that is peace, absolute, he has to wipe out root out all the causes, root causes of ignorance and attend the knowledge of the truth, realize the truth by awakening the discriminative power, renouncing all the worldly affairs and attaining the knowledge of the experience of the truth. And he explained the root causes are mainly four of the ignorance, that is cause for the world. So these four are: first is samvedan, the relationship and transaction, and second is bhavan, the thought waves, thoughts. Third is vasana, which is desires and strong, keen desires to achieve something, to have something, and that's how there arises the attachment with sense objects, and that's how one gets merged in past, present and future, goes on planning for the future, planning and projecting. In this way, the whole life gets entangled with the thoughts of the world. And the way to get out of it is to destroy ignorance. That is possible when we darkness, if you want to get rid of darkness, then you have to light the lamp. Similarly, when you get the knowledge, the ignorance will vanish by itself. This is what Vasistha explained to a monkey, the ascetic, and in the end he advised Rama, "O Ram, just like the ascetic monkey, you have to renounce everything and sit calmly in samadhi, in absolute peace. That is, you have to do. That's how I have told you the story of monkey." So, from that story, we have to now get the essence of it. Essence is the statement of the world and the absolute truth. How is the world and how is the truth? What is the relation between the world and the truth? So we shall see today in this chapter that when the chitta, the subconscious mind, the storehouse of all the memories and impressions what we collect from the day-to-day affairs, that is the storehouse, we call it chitta or subconscious mind. When that throbs, that vibrates, those vibrations are felt in the absolute truth. Absolute truth. How? How to understand this? And he says, we shall discuss it in detail. When the chitta starts vibrating, this vibration is seen in the absolute pure consciousness sky. And when these vibrations are silenced, then there is no question of world ideas in the absolute truth. That means those vibrations, they are also in the sky of the consciousness. All these world picture gets out. When the subconscious mind starts working, then it is seen in the absolute consciousness sky. How to understand it, how to hold it, how to get the clarity. We shall see this fact in this chapter. You see, before going to details, you must have some background of your understanding, some basic understanding, basic formula to understand everything in detail, in shortcut. So that is whether the absolute consciousness or the truth, when holds these vibrations of subconscious mind, naturally a question arises. Is the chitta, subconscious mind, different from this truth, from the Brahman or our Supreme Self? Is it different from that? How do you say, when this vibrates, then it has influence on the truth, then truth appears as if vibrating? Yesterday we were discussing, when the air on the desert land, when it gets heated up, there will be motion in the air. It will go up, and the comparatively cold wind will fulfill its place. So there arises some commotion, something goes on. So that vibration or that commotion appears as if there is water. It is not clear. Something is seen by the distant seers, and that appears as if it is water. That is how we see water in the mirage. So similarly, shall we take, when this world desert, when it vibrates, the absolute seer gets mistaken and it sees something as if world or something. Should we take in this way? This also doesn't give us clarity. Still other way we can take. See, when in the water pond or in the lake, when the side mountain gets reflected, the reflection will be seen, and if the water vibrates, the reflection also vibrates. And if we look at the water surface, then we have to see that mountain is vibrating, isn't it? When we look at the superficial water with the vibration and with the reflection of the mountain vibrating, then we think the mountain is vibrating, though the reality is mountain never vibrates. Only the reflection gets vibrated. How? If the water surface vibrates, then it appears as if the mountain is vibrating. this appearance. So you have to understand this this is subconscious mind, chitta, is nothing but a reflection. Reflection. Reflection of what? Reflection of the steady mountain that is the truth, which is never perturbed by anything. It is the absolute stability or static state. It never gets vibrated, never gets disturbed. It is always the absolute constancy or the peaceful, harmonious awareness where no question of any disturbance arises. Never. Why? Why? Because there is no second one other than this. This is all pervading, the absolute one. So there is no question of other disturbance in it. When two are there, one has to be, out of the two, one has to be disturbed. Both will be disturbed. Disturbance means not only fighting or getting lost something or gained something. That is not only disturbance. Disturbance also is there in relationship. In relationship. If two are there, see these two fingers. If one is, there will be comparison, there will be relation. By comparison, we start relationship. And when there is comparison, there is relation. One will be either smaller or the bigger. Either one will be fat, other or thin. This is how we use the comparative degrees. This is how relationship and comparison starts because of dualism. So what happens? This is called disturbance. Relationship or comparison, difference in degrees, difference in everything. That is called difference, is called disturbance. Difference is disturbance. Understood now? This is how, when in this world, when we see something, everything gets confused and disturbed, and this is how nothing is stable and changeful phenomena is seen all the time, and that is called world. And in absolute truth, this is not possible because it is absolutely one without a second. So there is no question of comparison, no relationship, no disturbance. No one is there to disturb it. So it is absolute constancy, harmony and balanced state, that is called absolute peace, where no disturbance is possible. No disturbance is possible. It is because of only singularity-ness, singularhood. It is because it is one, that's how there is no question of disturbance. The moment you see two, there is all sorts of disturbance. Now, where from this chitta came? We are thinking we are talking now, if there is any vibration, movement in the chitta, subconscious mind, it is seen always, it is never steady, and that vibrations are known as thought waves, and those thought waves, according to its degree or activities or its visibility or its state, we have named it as ego, intellect, mind, all these are subconscious mind. All these are names of one system that is called vibratory system. Don't forget this. Vibratory system means disturbance. This, where from this disturbance came? Out of the truth. It is not in the truth. We are thinking, if there is vibration, disturbance in the subconscious mind, that is seen in the absolute sky, that is called the world. That is called world. Just as we saw the disturbance in the reflection in the water, and we think the opposite, the mountain is vibrating. Similarly, this chitta, when vibrates, the truth appears as if it is vibrating. And that's how the world we see. Now what is the truth? Truth gets never vibrated. In no condition it can be disturbed. In no condition. So where from we see this world? How do we see this world? To give some explanation for this world, we are going to discuss, if the chitta vibrates, then that vibration is seen in the absolute truth, and that's how we see the world. This appears to be something confusing.
Absolutely steady, then what makes the chitta vibrate?
Yes. What makes it vibrate? Impossible. Impossible becomes possible. How? That is the root cause we have to understand. There is no chitta. There is no chitta. This is how we have to start. If you take chitta as something, then where from it comes? The first doubt, first question arises. Where from this chitta came? Is it some separate, individual, independent identity which is not the truth? This question we have to solve in the beginning itself. Where from this chitta came? So, to solve this question, you have to take this chitta as the reflection. It is nothing other than the truth itself. Here is the secret. Chitta is nothing but the reflection of the Absolute. So here, when we see some reflection of some object, again we have to say there are dualism, isn't it? Again we have to say there is dualism. When you see your reflection, In what do you see? You see in the mirror. You cannot see your reflection in you, inside you. You have to see it in the mirror. So mirror is different than you. Mirror is something opaque surface or clear or transparent surface where your reflection is seen. This reflection is possible in dualism, isn't it? In physics we study how the reflection is seen. If some object is there, it is seen means it is in the light, and it emanates light also. Every object, when it is seen, that means there is light in it. In darkness we cannot see anything. So that ray of light from the object goes, and rays of light, it has motion. It cannot be steady. So it travels, and when it gets obstructed by some opaque surface, then it creates an angle with the opaque surface. That angle will be something, and in the same opposite angle, it gets back. So from this, of course, in physics you can get details of it, how the reflection is created in the opaque surface. Without light, that is impossible. And in the clear surface, when the light is obstructed, it goes back and it takes it's the same light from the object gets back to the object. So that creates an idea of this reflection. That is how reflection is created. Just as the eclipse are created, eclipse, solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, it is because of light only. When between the sun and the moon, if the earth comes in its orbit, then because the moon never gets any light from the sun, so we don't see the moon. That's how eclipse is seen. And when there is moon in between sun and earth, then solar eclipse. We don't see the portion of sun. That's how solar eclipse. Similarly, this reflection also is because of travels of light rays. And when it is obstructed by something, it gets back and it creates the form. That is called reflection. It is possible in the opaque surface only. If it is completely transparent, the light goes through the transparent surface. It will never come back. Yes.
Swamiji, does it mean that the absolute, apart from the absolute consciousness, there is another opaque, there is...
This is what we are discussing. Whether it is, here we are discussing between two objects. One is opaque, other is object. Object is seen in the opaque surface. That's how we see the reflection. And similarly, our water, we see the reflection in water. We can see the reflection in some clean surface, say in the marble or in the crystal rock. We see the reflection. Sometimes we see the reflection in the stainless steel also. Sometimes, and though not clear, some reflection we see. So, here the question arises, if there is no two, where from this reflection comes? How it is? This is why we always discuss about the lens house or the round mirror or half round mirror, circular mirror. What happens? Mirror is opaque surface, isn't it? Or if some room is totally inside is attached with lenses of different kinds and different sizes, say convex, concave, different sizes. All over there is only lenses. And when you enter into it, some object enters into it, how many reflections it sees? Where does it see? Of course, in the all-round surface, we see the reflections, and not one, innumerable, one holds innumerable other reflections within one. Because reflections are reflected, and they are getting on, reflected again and again everywhere. So there is no question of counting, innumerable. In a moment, the moment you enter in, your reflections are many, uncountable, and they are everywhere. These reflections are everywhere, not in only one lens. Everywhere there is reflections, and it appears as if only reflections are seen. There is no lens, only reflections are there. And that's how we are confused. Where is my reflection? How am I? That's how, if you put a dog inside, or a cat, or a bird, see the fun. It will go on fighting with itself, and in the end it will die. So let us analyze this process. In the same way, if nobody is there, no object is there, what happens? The lenses are reflected in other lenses, and reflections are reflected in every lens in different sizes. Lenses are reflected in other lenses, and reflections are uncountable everywhere. Because you are inside, you see your reflection. If nobody is there, no object is there, the reflections are seen. Even then, reflections are seen, the reflections of these lenses only. Similarly, in a half circular mirror or full round mirror, if you see, without object also, the mirror is reflected in the mirror. Now, clear? Reflection can be within itself. In what case? Not in every case, but when there is opaque surface or transparent surface or reflective surface, then reflections are created within itself. This is how in the prism itself is reflected in the prism. The prism's reflection is seen in the prism. Similarly, see this. Its reflection is seen within this because it is transparent. And because the absolute is one and it is absolutely transparent, purity is known as transparence. So it is reflected within itself. This is how the reflection is known as chitta. It is not outside. The reflection is not outside. It is within itself. Now, are you clear? The reflection, what we call chitta, it is nothing other than the absolute consciousness. It is something confusive, something, you see, elusive, because it is not clear. The reflection of the absolute within itself, just as the reflection of the mirror you see in the mirror, that will be not clear. It will be very foggy, something you see, but reflection will be there. That is how the world is seen in the absolute within itself. World is not other than the truth. This is how. Yes.
If the absolute is absolutely transparent, clear, it's absolutely clear, there cannot be a reflection.
Why?
Because if there is a light, it just pass through.
Just as this, just as prism, just as mirror is reflected in the mirror.
That means the chit is the prism.
Yes, it is absolute transparent. Purity is called transparency. And when it is reflected within itself, something is seen which is completely confusive. That is, we call it world, because repeatedly we see it. That's how we see something as if it is truth, which is ever changing. Every moment, everything is changing, because we are constantly seeing the changing phenomena. That's how we think it is constant. Not clear. Okay. हाँ जी गुरु जी.
Maharaj, so then from a relative point of view, the impressions which are in the chitta, or it is because of the reflection only. From a relative point of view, if we see that when we see an object outside, we say that the impression are carried forward and it is there again, we can able to recollect this impression. So should we understand from a relative point of view, it is not the object which is responsible for the impression, it is only the reflection which is in the chitta is responsible for the impression.
This is also another complicated question, because first you have to understand what is chitta, then all these impressions will be understood. Actually speaking, there is no impressions, there is no memory. In between, we have brought all these words which are meaningless. Reflection, in reflection, how do you name it, how do you define it?
Swamiji, can we say that reflection is only a vibration?
Pardon?
Reflection is only a vibration.
Reflection is nothing but a vibration. And that vibration is not there. Is it vibrating now? Vibration is seen because of its transparency. There is no vibration. There is no world at all. If there is vibration, if you accept vibration, then there will be world. And there will be everything, all the confusion will start. There is no vibration. It appears as if there is vibration. There is no mind, there is no intellect, there is no ego, no chitta, nothing is there.
Yes, just like in a dream song.
Just like a dream. In the dream, you see everything. Anything, do you think anything is real there? How do you see the dream?
Whole world inside.
You see inside yourself. The mind is reflected in the mind. Mind sees everything in the mind. There is no outside mind. This is how mind is capable of creating everything, because it is so subtle. And mind is nothing but the mirror. When the mirror shakes, all the world will shake. Whatever reflections are seen in the mirror, everything will shake. Everything will start vibrating. That is how this changing phenomena we see, which is not at all there. Not at all there. And this is how this point has come here. If chitta gets calmed, then there is no world, there is no reflection in there is no disturbance in the absolute sky, and no world you will see. And this is how creation starts and creation ends.
But in the absolute consciousness, there is no vibration.
No vibration, no world.
There obviously there cannot be a world.
Just as you have imagined some beautiful city in the sky. Always I used to give the example of my swastika ashram. Swastika ashram, my imaginary ashram, and that is somewhere in the sky, in the mind. Mind has created it. It is there in my mind. Any moment I want to see, I can see it, I can show you it. When I go on narrating it, you go on concreting it in your mind, you see it. The ashram I built in the form of, in the shape of swastika, and in the center of this swastika, there was a great temple one temple having 33 crores of temples within it. Why? Because 33 crores of gods are there. I gave every individual god a temple within that big temple. That is my creation. I cannot, you see, overlook, I cannot see down all these gods. Every god is important as the other. So I created one temple, beautiful temple for each god, 33 crores. And they are there in one temple. And also in these sides, there are so many blocks, and each block with many rooms and many flats and everything arrangement. Each block is given to some individual siddhas, monks, the great people, the you see, long living beings. Everybody has a place there in the swastika ashram. It is a mini world. Everybody has got a place there. And all the arrangement is there for everybody. Eating, drinking, and roaming about, and you see, communicating, roads and everything. Communication methods, everything is there. And the whole temple is in the center, and all around there are many blocks, and the whole world exists there in the form of swastika. Understood? Now, are you able to see it or not? See, this is a contaminated disease. The moment I explain it, it is gone to your brain.
Because you are describing, so here it is getting into the mind.
This is how your mind and my mind is similar. It is there, everywhere, everything is there. Everywhere, everything is there in the form of imaginations. Imaginations are nothing but vibrations. Where? Nowhere. Nowhere. Similarly, because mind is so subtle, so transparent, it creates everything within itself, and this mind is nothing but the universal mind, part and parcel of universal mind, because it acts in a limited way. That's why it is called individual mind, but it is nothing other than the universal mind. And universal mind is nothing other than the absolute consciousness. It is so transparent. Everything is possible there. It is so able. Whatever you imagine, it is not your imagination. You are the absolute consciousness, and your mind is the mind of the absolute. What you think, it is your consciousness, your awareness which thinks. It is not you something other than the absolute. You are within it, and this is what you have forgotten. So you have been limited now. You are thinking in a limited, foggy way, muddy, foggy way. you have become so dirty because of your thought process. So, in essence, we can say when the chitta gets vibrated, those reflections, whatever is created in the chitta, individual conscious mind, individual subconscious mind, that is nowhere else but it is in the absolute only. So the absolute gets vibrated. It appears only. And when the chitta gets calmed down, the absolute also gets calmed down. This is
First vibration comes from.
uh,
The first vibration.
fast vibration. There is no vibration. It appears. So there is no beginning, no end. When did I create that swastika ashram? Now itself. It was before also. It will be in future also. Nobody can destroy it. It is imperishable. Yet it is perishable. Moment you forget, it is gone. Moment you remember, it is come.
Meaning no vibration, what does that? No vibration meaning
No vibration means absolute. If there is something, there is no absolute. That's how we see the world, ourselves and other things. Yes?
That means there is no concept of evolution and involution.
Pardon?
No concept of evolution and involution. There is
No,
evolution.
nothing. Because you have done some mistake in the very beginning. You are going to support it by creating other mistakes. You have created a mistake in the very beginning. And that's how you are going on supporting that mistake which appears to be correct. See the example in our method of solving some algebra or some trigonometry, some problems when we go on solving. In the very beginning, we had to multiply, say, 13 into 3. 13 and 3, both should be multiplied. Okay? Instead of writing 39, we wrote there 16 in the very first line. Okay? Taking 16 to be right, we go on further calculating other lines and go on writing other lines. Those other lines, we can say in our language, those other lines are supporting lines of that mistaken line. Isn't it? Because we have done a mistake in the very beginning, we are going on supporting this. This is the process. That's how when some person lies, he goes on supporting the lie. This is our nature. A liar never speaks a truth, because once it has lied, then it has to go on supporting that lie and going on telling thousands of lies to support that one lie. And this is how our world is. Once we have made a mistake, where when that ego, when that self enters into the womb of the mother, into the that what we call embryo. Embryo in the beginning has no life. It is supported by the mother's body. And at a particular time, it gets awareness. That awareness is nothing but, according to some philosophers, everybody is true. According to some philosophers, the embryo itself is the self, individual self, who has become individual self in the form of embryo. When the semen and the ovum gets together, becomes one, they are the individual self which was traveling to get a body, solid body, to act further. So that creates the body in this way. And that embryo has got life. But according to some others, embryo had no life. The life enters into it in a particular time. Some say in 3 months, some say in 6 months, some say in 9 months. According to everyone is right, because there is no particular law for the individual soul to enter in it. There is no law. Any time it can accept the body. So, they say a person lying here, dying here, and in a few days taking birth in some other place. How? It enters some embryo in somebody's uterus. It enters there and gets a body, new body, in no time, in a month or 15 days. And sometimes it takes years. Why? Because the good and bad actions it has done, they guide the individual self in the subtler realms. It enjoys, it suffers, everything goes on. And according to its will to get a body, new body, that happens according to its karma, and thereby it gets a will to get a new body. And that's how the time factor is not settled. Nobody can say how it happens. Yes?
Swamiji, few years back, I was here for some time, and you were discussing this Vasistha story, and you were narrating that story of Leela and Padma, King Padma.
Yes, Padma and Leela.
That means one particular soul can coexist at the same time. I mean,
In many worlds and many forms also, and similarly also, simultaneously. And that's how, if that is understood and accepted, then that one truth has become so many, and it can become, go on increasing at any cost, at any condition, everywhere. One single idea can be many. And nowadays in modern world, we give the example of one draft taking thousands of Xerox copies of it. You can take. Who can stop you? At the same time, one can become many. And time factor? Time is no time. Time is compared or understood with actions and space and conditions and changing phenomena. That is called time. There is no something as which can be called as time. This calculation, these ideas, these projections or these, you see, we can say this estimation, how is what, kalana se kal hua. Because we imagine, so that imagination is known as time. That's how time differs from place to place, from condition to condition, from person to person. Time concept is different from each other. What you think time, my time is different than your time. That's how somebody coming from America, he takes little time to adjust with Indian time. The same person, adjust mentally. When time is there night, here it is day. When there is day, here it is night. So when you come from day to day, or from night to night, then you take little time to adjust, acclimatize. This is how there is no time, there is no space. All these are just imaginations. And there is no individualities, there is no mind, no ego, nothing. All these are differently imagined, and these imaginations are nothing but only vibratory system. And why it vibrates? There is no vibration. The transparent, the absolutely transparent object looks like vibrations, just as we see in the desert the mirage. Mirage is not there, nothing is there, but we see the water in it. Which is not there, we see it. There is no blueness in the sky. We see it.
Is this called Maya?
Pardon?
Is this called Maya?
This is called, this confusion or illusion is known as Maya.
Actually, there is
Maya,
nothing.
literally, which is not there. Maya. Ya, that lady which is not there. Ya is used for Yah, Ya. Ya is for males, Ya for females. In Sanskrit, Jo Purush, Yah. Ya, Yo Stri. Ma, not, which is not there. Yes.
From a relative point of view, they use a word called superimposition.
Superimposition, illusion, and imagination, confusion, everything. And how it creates confusion, illusion, because it is not there. And we try to see it.
It means superimposition is just an observation.
Observation is idea. That's how magic, I give always the example. When the boy is not in the ashram, where has he gone? My boy was in the ashram. our Salonia and Silpa have come. His father will come tomorrow to find out where my daughters are. They are not here. They have gone somewhere that I don't know. They didn't inform anyone. So, their father or mother will come to take them back to their house. She comes, her mother comes and finds, where is my daughter? I said, no, she is not here. So she will go, where has she gone? I don't know. So she will go on searching for her. Searching the absent. And where she will search? Where? Where it is not known. She will go to some of her friend's house. She is not there. She will go to hospital. No, she is not there. In this way, she will go on searching for the absentee, where the absentee is not there. This is how confusion or illusion is created, and everything is topsy-turvy. You go on searching for it. Why do you go on searching for it? There is a desire to see the absentee as presentee. You want to see that, see.
माने ये इंद्रियों से हमें परसीव करना है बोल के हम ये
बिल्कुल हम कुछ चाहते हैं जो नहीं मिलता है, इसीलिए तो हम परेशान हैं. We want to get something which is not got. So we are going on changing our objects. We may get here, we may get there, we may get there. This is why it is called Maya. Nowhere it is got. And we don't know where it is present. Presence is called truth. Absolute presence is called truth. We don't know where it is present. This is how we go on searching for the absentee, which is not found. This is how the troubles start. Yes, Guruji.
Perhaps in the case from a relative point of view, it is so in the case of the world also, which is not there, we are searching.
We get to
We talk about the world. So they are searching. So something which is absent, you are searching in that.
yes. How many times we have discussed it? We are searching for the क्या नाम उसका था? Kuchandram. We are searching for Kuchandram. Do you know it? Where can we find? Go on searching. Kuchandram is some meaningless sound, some word. It is not a word, it is some sound. Formed by some alphabets which create no meaning. What is called a word? Word is a combination of composition of some alphabets which can produce some meaning, which has got some relationship with some object. That is called word. If there is no relationship, no meaning, it is not called word, it is only a sound. Kuchandram is a sound, and sound is nothing but some vibration. some vibration in the air or in the sky. That is what we say radio waves, some waves. When the harmony is disturbed, that is called a wave.
वो कुत्ता भौंकता है स्वामी जी, वो कुत्ता भौंकता है तो हमें पता है बस भौंक रहा है, मगर वो कुछ सिग्नल दे रहा है हम समझ नहीं पा रहे।
कल रात को भूख रही थी,
वो कुछ भौंक रहा है, हम सोच रहे हैं
कुछ बोल रहा है, उसका भाषा को हम नहीं समझ रहे हैं क्योंकि देर इज नो कम्युनिकेटिंग मेथड. Language varies. Language means similar vibrations should go parallel. They should coincide with each other. Then only that is called relationship. And then we understand the language. That's how, if you go to that level of vibration, then you can understand. That's how the yogis understand the language of birds, beasts, and trees and insects, and even they understand the language of inert beings, stones, mountains, rivers. They understand, they communicate in that language only.
Swami, that means we are in search of something which is not there.
Yes, that is the last conclusion. Last,
Search.
we are running behind wild goose chasing. Wild goose chasing. We are chasing the wild goose. There is no goose in the forest. We chase it. There is a saying in English, chasing the wild goose. This is how we are running behind something to get some pleasure. And when we don't see the presence, then we search for the presence and we get only miseries. Now, we think tomorrow only we can start the subject. We have to have a background, or else we cannot understand anything. Where from this chitta comes, and what is the definition of chitta? Then only it will vibrate, and then there will be some reflections, and then those vibrations will be seen in the absolute conscious sky. Say, when the Ganga ji is vibrating, it is running so fast with so many white waves and foams. Just above it, if you see, the sky also is vibrating. Just above it. Of course, the higher sky we may not see its vibrations. Just above it, you can imagine some vibratory system, some just like mirage, something is going on. Because now it is bright sun, and because of that sun, the glow, it creates something above it. That is how the absolute sky is seen. There is nothing, but something is seen. And other examples they go on giving. We shall get all those examples in it, in the subject. You see, when you muscle your eyes and look at the sky. Some black spots you will see. Are they there? Can you define it? Can you have any idea about it? What is it? Where is it? What is it called? How do you name it? How do you form it? Has it got any form? Some black clumsy spots.
But they say it is there.
This is how, yes,
Particles, light particles.
this is how we see this world in the absolute. We are unable to accept that because we are so much engrossed, entangled in these confusing ideas. Nothing is clear. And they give another example. When you put here the eye, you press it, look at the object or the moon or the any other object, they look like two or three or many. Seeing the two moons. And when your eyes are, you are suffering from jaundice, you see everywhere only yellowish, all the trees are yellow. What is truth? What is wrong? Whether the object is like that or the eyes are defective. So, we have to carry with us the formula always to solve any problem. Any problem can be solved with one formula. What is that? No object in this world has got any quality or any name or any form. And how we understand the quality, the nature of the object and value of the object, relationship with the object, the name, the form of the object, how we conquered all these words. Are these useless, meaningless words? The object has got a form, it has got a name, and it has got some qualities, it has got some properties, it has got some nature. This is what till now we have been taking with us, isn't it? This is called relative world. We are so much advanced in modern science. We know the formula of relativity. There are no two. Where from you got the formula of relativity? Where from you got it? Your formula of relativity is valuable for those blind people. There is no value of your formula. Why? Because
स्वामी जी व्यवहार जगत में तो चाहिए,
pardon?
व्यवहार जगत में तो ये फॉर्मूला चाहिए.
Formula is no object is having a form or a name or relationship or its value or its qualities. Then how do we see all these? Every object has a form, a name and its quality, its nature. How we see all these. So the reason is given when your senses, by the order of your mind, when the mind wants to see an object by your senses, it goes, mind means vibratory system, waves, wavery system. So don't forget it. When all these waves, they go out through some particular sense and relate or contact with the object, any object, and it gets some type of relationship. It gets some information. That information is temporary and haphazard, and it is partial, it is not complete. When it gets some information, partial, incomplete, or changing, or temporary information, it stores all those information in itself, and that is called the chitta. And when chitta vibrates, that means the mind has to contact with some objects, and when it relates with the object, the chitta relates the object with the other object, and uses it in particular way, giving the relationship, then it gets a name, and its use is its value and meaning. If it is useless, it is not contacted with, then it is, there is no meaning, there is no value, there is no name, there is no form. When somebody is there, this is how in other language we say, when somebody proves it, then it is proved. Lawyer's language. You have to prove it. Some proof is required. Some witness is there. If somebody witnesses it, then it is proved as something. Isn't it? This is how the law goes. And here the proof giving object is nothing but your mind, your senses, your chitta. They give the proof. It is something. What is it? It is according to its use and relationship with other objects as you have seen. Then only you give the name and its value. And then you relate it with others. What relationship it has got with this? It holds the tea which is held by the thermos. This is the relationship. Then only it has got some meaning, and this has got some meaning. Or else no meaning, no value. So, in the background, your mind is working all through. And the vibratory system. And that vibratory system is nothing but imbalanced state. When the absolute balanced state becomes seen as imbalanced, then all these thoughts, the objectifying and limiting and relationship with other objects, and then value, then name and form and transactions, and relativity starts. When the absolute is absolutely stable, there is no world. This is what told here in this starting, that how do you see the world, and where from this misunderstanding, these miseries, this ignorance start. Because we have seen the ignorance has 4 causes, root causes in the last story. So now we have to see what is called ignorance. Ignorance should be defined, which is not there. Ignorance means absence of knowledge. Can you define any absentee? This is to be understood. And when you have accepted the absentee is there, have you not made a mistake? How did you make the mistake? You assumed my boy is there in the ashram. That's how you have come to search for your boy in the ashram, which is not there. So now you will go on searching for it. Go on eternally. And whom you are searching for? You are searching for the son of a barren woman. In the ashram, and go on searching for it eternally. This is called ignorance.
So this barren woman is Maya?
Yes. Maya ठगिनी रे मैं जानी, जादूगरिनी, महाठगिनी। कैसे ठगती? जहाँ जाते हो ढूंढने के लिए वहाँ से गायब हो। यही तो जादू। मैं यहाँ, हाँ तुम कहाँ? मैं यहाँ, हाँ यहाँ। यही है जादूगरिनी का काम। जैसे बच्चों को हम ठगते हैं, मुझे ढूंढो, मैं कहाँ? ये तो यही तो हाइड एंड सीक गेम। Something we think it is here, and when you go there, it is gone. This is how the mirage, this is how the blueness of the sky, this is how the reflections in the reflections, this is how the world and this is whole total, this is how is known as ignorance. And first beginning mistake you have done, you have come here to search for a being which is not there. So you go on searching for it. Eternally, you will never get it. When you stop your searching, then you will get. This is the secret. When you stop your searching, then you will get. Why? Because you are searching for, you are chasing the wild goose, which is not there. So when you stop searching, you will find the goose in the lake, not in the forest. So tomorrow we shall start. Thank you. हरि ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय, सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय, शब्द ब्रह्म की जय, सरस्वती महारानी की जय, जोग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय।